Okay, quick update this morning. Lot of data feed issues and NinjaTrader issues. Regardless of all that, I didn't do a whole lot of automated trading today. But I was working sell side off this area, and then I came back in and we had a M pattern right here that I liked. So after we came out of the US session open, we had an M pattern on that diamond out of the M pattern rotating lower, and at the time the PPG1 was red. I worked in some short liquidity thinking this thing should at a minimum break through this pivot, and we'll see what kind of run we got. We got a nice run, so that padded what I made earlier part of the pre-market and overnight session when I was up and working trades and talking to programmers on Zoom. So all in all, good day. But a lot of data feed issues. There was extended periods of time today where, I had stops and targets on, but the data feed was basically out. And NinjaTrader put out a big statement today, too, about the issue. So anyhow, all seems to be working now. But one thing I was going to say is, let's go take a look at yesterday. So today, right out of the open, if you had data feed issues, obviously you didn't trade automated. If you did have data feed issues, you should have been short initially, flipped along back to short, and then done for the day. So a couple of trades there. Now yesterday, let's go look at yesterday. Yesterday was fairly simplistic day. And let me just show you on our main automated strategy. Let's go to 832 bar, which was right here. So what we call time window mode, you have been triggered into the trade long, and then it just grinded up and grinded up and grinded up till you were done on the day. So that was a one and done day. If for some reason you're set on signals, you didn't get a short signal till late in the day, and then it flipped along later on. So it was like, if I'm in signals mode and it's gone this long, and I'm getting into 11:30 or noon Central Time, and I haven't gotten a signal, it's like, okay, I'm not going to be sitting there with the automated still on. My whole objective is to hit it quick each morning and get out of there and be done with it. And then let's take a quick look at the prior day. Let's go to 832 bar. So here is 832 coming up on it. The first close bar at 8:32 U.S. Central Time or later, which is right there, if I'm not mistaken. I know this morning I was in this particular morning I remember being in a couple of trades. So let's pull 832. I just want to make sure we're on the right bar. There we go, right there. So that was a down bar, even though PPG1 was up. So there was no trade triggered. If it would have been one bar earlier, I would have been triggered long in time windows mode. Then I got a signal, so it was short, then it flipped to long. That's a loser, and then obviously the market ramped pretty much the rest of the day there. So, markets, some of these days are, and I think we're getting closer to where we're going to have a lot more responsiveness out of the market right away. Once we get past the Fed interest rate news day today, we've been in pretty heavy institutional pump. They've been pumping, day session, overnight session, getting the market back to its upper range of price. And so now the market's basically sitting here waiting for the Fed interest rate news. Okay, so I'm going to make an announcement. I've had a lot of people loving trading the diamond to diamond setups with our adaptive trend cloud. I'm going to go ahead and have a fully automated strat that is tied to the adaptive trend cloud. That will set us up then with 4 completely separate automated strategies. We'll have the STI strat, the pivot point strat, the river strat, and we'll have I'm not going to name it the adaptive trend cloud strat. We'll just use the acronym for that. So we'll go ATC strat, and that will work for that. So anyhow, that's in line. I have one programmer right now that I've kind of been not in a lot of communication with. for several days when I was traveling. And I was kind of going east from the southwestern United States on the back side of the winter storm that kind of hit New Mexico and Texas and stuff, and got to some areas where I didn't hit the storm, but the remnants of the storm, the road conditions, and the amount of ice was horrendous. So that slowed down my trip a bit. But anyhow, I have a one programmer working on wrapping up the levels indicator. We're getting closer. It's not exactly doing everything I want it to yet, and I don't want to put it out till I have it completely done the way I want. That way, once it's out, I don't have to keep going back and forth and doing updates. I would say possibly tomorrow, my other NT8 programmer will have the adaptive trend cloud strat out and done, so I can add that to the program. So, if you're already in the program on, any of the packages that include automated strategies, you will get that also. Those of you that are on the indicators only, you have the adaptive trend cloud indicator, and there's a range of new training content on each specific indicator and what all the settings do in each indicator to show you the full capability of those indicators, as it relates to our automated strategies, or for those using third-party tools that are taking the outputs from our indicators and utilizing them for their own custom automated activity. So again, we're going to expand the prop trading indicators program with a fourth automated strategy. So give me a little bit of time. Possibly I could have the levels indicator done by this weekend to my liking. That programmer that's working on that has got one other big task. I have him on today, and then tomorrow he'll be back to wrap up on the levels work. And I want to get that baby right, because there's a lot of possibilities on what we could use the levels indicator for, which will automatically draw out all key levels based upon the way I know that I've seen institutional groups track market levels. So I wanted to give an update on that. And let's go take a quick look at the website. Now, at the proptradingindicators.com website, if you do need to contact us for any reason, we have a contact form, or it's just info@proptradingindicators.com. I was going to say I'm going to be populating some new videos to the website and adding in the new ATC strat information. That strategy will be added to the advanced program package. So this package will say 4 systems plan instead of 3 after today. So we're just going to take this baby to a whole new level. So yeah, all kinds of new content and updates there. I have a couple errands to run today. I'm meeting with some hedge fund groups that want very extensive, fully automated systems that I've signed contracts with. Basically kind of like what I would call the super band style of trading from the Algo IQ program. That's very similar to the way that I trade institutional FX. But I have several groups that trade multiple markets, and they want systems based off that. So I had to travel and bring computers with me that I had built up with everything loaded and ready to go to support those endeavors. So anyhow, I have a couple of meetings with that group midday, and then literally the rest of the evening tonight I'll be working on going back and forth with the programmers on these various projects, but loading all kinds of new training content to several new Discord room pages that we have, and more settings and more instruments covered. And then I'm going to get the Discord room ready also for the new ATC strat that will be added to the program. So anyhow, and then in the next few days, it's going to basically be adding a bunch of settings that I've been optimizing and working on for various instruments, like Renko settings, indicator strat settings, to expand the envelope on what we currently have and keep really growing the overall content and capability of the program for everybody that's part of the program. So if you have any questions, again, info@proptradingindicators.com. And this will be a very busy rest of the week with a lot of new stuff added. Now that I've got this, which has kind of been a distraction for me for about 10, 11 days now, knowing I had a new institutional group that I was going to be working with. Now it's a second one that's been locked down, and now everything's been finalized with that. I've got the systems in place on the computers that I built up so that they can getting ready to start deploying the use of those systems. I'll be managing it, but they'll at least be able to understand what and how all the functionality of the systems work, which I do this a lot. I bring a system to institutional groups that they can utilize through their trade desk and their risk management department to trade fully automated if they've never traded automated before. And it doesn't make any difference if they're trading stocks or FX or futures or whatever the case may be. So there you have it. More updates, another fully automated strategy. Then that'll be it. I don't plan on adding any other fully automated strategies to the pivot point program showcased at proptradingindicators.com, because the other thing I'm going to start doing probably this weekend and then into next week is also showing how you can use the TradeSaber Predator third-party software. I've talked to the gentleman that runs that operation, and he is fantastic. I love what he built. But how you can take that and go off and build really unique custom automated or semi-automated operations, reading outputs from our indicators and using that application as your mechanism to operate semi-automated or fully automated trades off signal or off indicator positions or indicator signals, whether it be a diamond, whether it be an arrow, whether it be a dot, whatever the case may be. So there you have it. More program expansion, more good stuff. And just want to give you guys a quick update. Be a lot more content hitting on the public side of our Prop Trading Indicators YouTube channel next few days, now that I'm settled, got my travel done, got the initial setups up and running with the 2 new institutional groups. So now I can kind of get back to my typical normal day-to-day routine and schedule. Okay, everybody, have a fantastic day. Got Fed news coming up, Fed interest rate news. We'll see what they do. Talk to y'all later.